Hey, what's going on? It's your girl Mary Jane. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. I also would like to thank everyone that subscribe, comment, and share my videos. I really do appreciate it. So I wanted to say thank you. I also want to say RIP to Dick Gregory. And let's talk about Insecure Season 2, Episode 5. We start off with Molly getting gas, and she paid $9.41 and only got 1.594 worth of gas. 1 gallon and 5.94 worth of gas in her car. Now, that is they trying to tell us that it's really expensive to get gas out there, or is the message that gas is expensive everywhere and people can barely afford gas? Sounds like people need to be carpooling and also walking or taking the bus or Uber. Like that's very expensive. And so we get Molly. She's in I believe Chicago. She's talking to one a different somebody that works like a cousin to her firm, to her, and they're talking about the situation where Molly not getting paid the money that she's supposed to get paid, and the white boy getting paid more. So she's having a conversation with a fellow co-member at a different law firm that is kind of like cousins to hers, and it's the dude from Get Out. And that he was like, you should just come over here, next time you come, bring some chicken and waffles. I bring some chicken or whatever. I forgot the name of the chicken. But she was like, so I can be the black girl, the only black girl with a bucket of chicken. Roscoe's, I think it was Roscoe's chicken. So, so that was funny, and he was just trying to tell her like maybe move on, move to another place, join a different firm or become corporate. And she was like, no, Molly was like, I put too much work into the situation at this law firm, and I've been living here for so long. I'm not just trying to ready to pick up and move away. She's not feeling that. She's not trying to do that at this time and point. And we also know Molly does not give up, and she wants things to go her way, and they should be like this. They should happen like that. Like when she was talking to the counselor. So she's going to fight to the end of that. So then we get Issa and Daniel. They're hooking up and they're messing around. They have sex. They're doing their thing. Also watching a slave movie, and it's like it's back to normal. And Daniel is feeling like okay, it's all good. But I think Daniel has a surprise for Issa. I think he is going to flip the script on her, and it's not going to be good. So they're hanging out and they're having a good time. It's like they never left each other. It's like Issa never did the negative things that she did towards him, and he never acted like stalkerish. So, and they're hanging out and it's cool, and it's just like Issa's putting everybody in rotation, whole rotation. But it seems like Issa is trying to run from her problems and from her feelings of she wants to be with Lawrence, but Lawrence doesn't want her back, and she believes that he's still with Tasha. And then on top of that, the old saying goes, order to get over somebody, you got to get under somebody. So she's trying to sleep her pain away, like people drink their alcohol away. She's trying to sex her feelings away that she has for Lawrence and all the regrets with that situation. So that's just too many bodies in 1 week or 1 month. There's just too much fluids being transferred. Hopefully they're using protection, because that's just too much. That's just like, that's just busting the vagina wide open. But so then we get to Issa and Molly. Issa and Molly's at Molly's house getting ready for their parents wedding anniversary, where they're gonna renew their vows and everything. And then guess who gets a text? It's none other than Issa. She gets a text, and it's from Daniel. Daniel wants to hook up and see her again, and she smiles. And Molly was like, "Who's that?" She was like, "It's Daniel. It's all good." And then Molly goes, "What do you mean that is all good? Because didn't you say that he was like, didn't you say he was like a rash that you need to put ointment on? Didn't you say he was like a pimple that needed to be popped?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, that's old stuff. We good now. Everything's wonderful with us. We everything's brand new, brand new." And so so Molly was like, "Okay, whatever sounds clever." And it's just like, boy, and then Issa goes, I'm putting my dues in a whole rotation. I got a new date coming up. I'm gonna meet with this Spanish guy she's gonna date or whatever. She's gonna meet up with him on Grinder or Tinder. And so she was like, and then they did he's Spanish, whatever, and it was like, oh, it's so racist. I was like, yo, you guys are just pushing the envelope with the principal. Now you're pushing the envelope with this. It's like, yo. So she was like, that's racist. That's, you know what? And so Molly is like, Molly's just looking because Molly's still contemplating whether she wants Jarrell in the back of her mind because she's feeling him for some reason. She wants that married man, don't she? So, Issa's just like, I'm putting them in whole rotation, and basically that's it. And so, she gets a call from Daniel, and she's gonna meet up with Daniel and get it on. But first, she has to go on her blind date with the Latino guy, and they're hitting it off, and Issa's just ready to jump his bones. She sounds very desperate. She sounds very insecure. So basically, she's trying to use her body to make her feel better about herself, or having someone desire and lust after her is making her feel more of a woman, or more accepted, and it's helping her get over Lawrence, and making her feel just better about her life situation. She's trying to sex her pain away, and they're having a good time. They drink, and Issa is just coming off very, very easy. And she even asks if they can chill a little bit later. He was like, no, I gotta work. I'll see you when I get back. Is as an excuse. So like he already know he got Issa in the bucket. He can get it if he want it. But it's only if he wants it. Sometimes people don't want it if it's that easy. Believe me. So, but Issa did cancel her date with Daniel because she was hooking up, because she was on her blind date. So then Issa has a director of, well, they're having a meeting at Issa's job, a staff meeting, and Frida is feeling like really messed up. Like she's mad at Principal Gaines, of Assistant Principal Gaines, because he is out supporting most of the African American students and bringing them into their after school program to get help and to get assistance. And she's feel like it's very racist for him to do that, but if he didn't do that, they wouldn't have any students there. So I don't know if he's reaching out as well to get the Latino students, or he's just like saying whatever. And so Frida is just not feeling the situation. She doesn't like it. And they're gonna go on a weekend retreat with their job, whatever. And one of the coworker goes, oh my god, we got to work on a Saturday and free, get paid for it. And so Frida choose a different partner other than Issa. And so after the staff meeting or whatever, Issa and Frida talk. Frida was like, I'm just not happy with you going on. I'm just not happy with you, um, just ignore what Principal Gang is doing. And there is some, and he can be racist even though that he is black. Because he says like he can't be racist because he's black. How can he suppress any minorities when he's already a minority? And so then Frida gets very literal with her and was like, well, if you do anything that stops someone else for seceding, or block them from a situation, no matter what, that's being a racist. And then on top of that, Issa is like, well, you don't have the right to point out that it's racist because Frida is white. So they're having their dispute over that situation. And it's just like, okay, as long as kids are getting help, well, I believe, well, Frida should be chasing around the Latino students in the school and try to get them in the program, instead of being mad at Issa and want to blow, trying to make the job situation worse. Won't she make Spanish signs, Spanish posters? Won't she, bring in some tacos and sit outside of the classroom, or bring in something that she knows the students like? I say tacos because I used to live in East LA. It's a lot of Mexicans, and they love tacos and hot tamales, and they were good. So that's what I'm just saying. So it's just like, so she can actually go beyond what she's doing. Instead of complaining about the situation, she can make the situation different. Like she can, get the student directory up the students or send out a blast email or a blast something online to the students that are Latino to get them into the program. And also, how come she's not concerned about the Caucasian students as well? So let's move on. So then we get to so after that we get Lawrence. Lawrence has to first we got a scene with Lawrence with his co-workers. He's running and exercising. He's like trying to get that zen energy. He's not with Tasha anymore. He had the threesome last episode, and we saw him at Issa's house after the threesome. So when you have sex with two people, two women, and then you go back to your ex house, you feeling that person. So stop denying it. That's what we do sometimes. We deny our feelings. And so he's denying his feelings. He's with his co-workers there, exercising, running, jogging. And he tells them that he has jury duty and all that other good stuff. And it just, and then so he goes to jury duty, and then he looks through his phone and he sees Issa, because it seems like he's stalking. Once he gets to the courthouse, he's stalking Issa's friends, and he's stalking Issa, and he sees a picture of Issa with Donnell, Darian, whatever his name is, Daniel, with Daniel. And he's like, what? That dagger hit him in the heart. So then he continues to look and see if he can see the pictures. So he goes into the courtroom, and how the judge, they look at you to see if they're going to keep you or they're going to dismiss you, and they ask you these questions. So they asked one of the jurors, so do you have anything against the LA Police Department? So she jumped up, she opened up her shirt, and it said Black Lives Matter. The judge said, I'm not buying it. Then the judge is calling out Lawrence to tell him that he's dismissed, but he's too busy fiddling through his phone looking at Issa's pictures with Daniel. So now he's all caught up in his feelings, because he's thinking like, yo, was she always with him from the beginning? How long has this been going on? Because it doesn't seem like she had any regrets, or she's really sorry about the situation, because she's with the person that broke us up or helped to break us up, because Issa had to sleep with him for them to break up. And she didn't tell him right away. So now he's in his feelings, because we know he's feeling her. So he's feeling, it's messing with his confidence as well. Even though Issa's having her confidence messed with, that's why she's around sleeping with the world. But there we go with that situation. And so then we get to Boyd Lawrence. Like, if Lawrence, I know he didn't want to forgive her, but if you love somebody and you want to be with them, don't let them go. And speaking of that, you know what song? I think I already said it, but the Patti LaBelle song has been in my head since I finished watching the episode. Somebody Loves You, Baby. I don't know why. I guess it's for Issa. Somebody needs to love her so she don't be around sleeping around with these guys. I don't know. Or Lawrence needs some love because he's seeming really, really hurt. And also Lionel, Molly's boyfriend that she's dating, that she's paying him dust. She's gonna regret that. So then from there we get to Lawrence. He's done with jury duty or whatever, and then so we get to Molly has her date because she's at her family's her mother and his father wedding renewal vows or whatever. And so she's there, she's getting everything ready, she's so happy, she loves that her parents been together for like 35 years. She sees her brother, she talks to her brother brings in cups or whatever, and the father was like, this ain't Freaknik. I was like, oh my god, remember Freaknik? And so then after that, Molly's having a good time, and then Darrell shows up, and he's shocked to see Molly with a date, and Molly is shocked to see him not with a date, because if she knew that he was not going to be there with his wife, I bet she wouldn't have brought Lionel with her. So she introduced Lionel to Darrell, or Jarrell, whatever his name is, and so Lionel was like hugging on to Issa, like trying to show like, hey, we got something going on. And Molly introduced them and introduced what Lionel does for work, and she forgot, or she just misquoted it to be a smart ass and to be disrespectful. if she did, or she could have just really forgot because she's just really not into him, because he invited her to a concert last episode and she said no. So I'm surprised he's over there with her. It seems like he's being very clingy towards her and she's not feeling it because she wants the married man. She wants Darrell. And so then, as they're at the wedding, Molly finds out that her father cheated on her mother by her, aunt, and they're talking about it. They was like, I'm surprised they stayed together for 35 years. I didn't think they was gonna last 5 years. Who's that heifer he was cheating on her with? And then they walk away. Then Molly goes to talk to her brother, and then he tells her, yeah, it's true. Mom and dad walks in the kitchen. They confirm yes, and then Molly, she's crying. She's all in her feelings. She was like, Mom, why did you stay with dad and all this other stuff? Well, isn't it a good thing that Mom did stay with dad, because they've been together for 35 years? So he made a mistake, and they processed that mistake together and moved forward. So it wasn't worth leaving her husband if they're now together for 35 years and he's never cheated on her again after the first time. So some people do make mistakes and actually, won't make that mistake again. But some people just don't change who they are. So, anyways, moving on from that. So Molly's on in a feeling. She's just squat. She throws a big scene. Like, she totally messes up her mother and father renewing their vows. They got over the situation. So I feel like they didn't want to tell her because she was going to behave like this. She probably would have been creating a wedge between them two, because she would want her mother to leave her father. But they could have also taught her forgiveness, and they could have told her how all relationships are not perfect. So they gave her this image that that their relationship was perfect, and she's been dying to have the same type of relationship that her mother and her father had, but now that is flawed. So that reputation that she thought that wasn't flawed is flawed. So now she's running from the house and she's crying, and guess who comes and rescue her? Darrell, not Lionel. Darrell pushed him back because Darrell knew that this is a perfect timing to get into that punani, because so he drives her home, and once he drives her home, they get to her house, and she was like, how are you gonna get home? He was like, I'll find a way home. And then all of a sudden, she says, come in, and we see them going at it. Hopefully they use protection. And so now she has made love to a married man. So her and Issa are kind of like in the same boat, but only thing is Molly has a particular guy that she wants to have sex with. She's all in her feelings about her parents and the cheating, and not following the guy that she really wants to be with, but she wants to be with a married man, and she has sex with him. And then on top of that, she's friends with the wife. And then on top of that, she got mad at her mother and her father for their relationship because her father cheated on the mother, but yet she's going to sleep with a married man. Tell me, her priorities are all screwed up, but she is a lawyer. So, like, you're mad at your father, but yeah, you're about to sleep with this married man, and you do? Okay, what you really mad about, girlfriend? You got him home like you wanted to, and you left Lionel there. And we're gonna probably see Lionel with another woman, and she's gonna be wishing it was her. So, moving on from that, then Issa's driving her car, and she's so caught up that she is on a collision course in her life with having sex with all these other guys. She's on a collision course because she's not really worried about things. The only thing she's worried about is covering up her feelings and her pain from her relationship with Lawrence and how all that went down, and him being with Tasha, that she's not dealing with the real issue. So she's so caught up that it's gonna be a collision coming soon, and the collision happened, but there's gonna be another collision. The collision happened with her looking at a dick pic, and then hit a car. She got into an accident. And then also another collision is Issa was at work, and she's so embroiled into this sex thing. It's like almost somebody being addicted. So it's not like it's now that Issa's becoming like a sex addict, and she's at work in the bathroom, and she's talking to her next door neighbor that lives down the hall from her. He said, send me a sex pic, and she's about to take a picture of her vagina or something, and her co-worker walked in, was like, ooh. So you can see that her sex life is going to interfere with her work life, and she's already on a collision of breaking out of control where it's really going it's this is going to have to end one way or another the way that she's going, and hopefully it's a positive way. So she got into an accident. She called Daniel to tell Daniel that, hey, she ain't gonna make it because she got into an accident. He runs to try to save the day, pick her up, give her a ride. He hugs her, he holds on to her, and he asks her like, are you okay, even when she calls him, because he generally cares for her and have feelings for her. And so they're hugging each other, and the first thing Issa does is like, and he was like, oh, Molly's so special, this and that. I mean, not Molly, Issa, you're this, Issa, you're that. So with that situation, Issa's feeling like, oh, I think he's catching more feelings and it's just about sex. So Issa lets him know that, hey, I hope you're saying other people because I am, and I lied to you when we first go around, and I'm trying to be real with you now. So I guess she's learning her lesson to stop lying and be real. So Daniel is like, all right, it's cool, but I think Daniel is gonna have Issa caught up in a situation. It's not gonna look good what goes down between them. And Lawrence, he's too busy stuck on Issa. He's checking out her pages. He's checking out everything that's going on with her, and he's stalking her. He's stalking her online. He's an online stalker. And he's looking through her stuff, and then he missed it with his friend. He was like, "What if she been doing this all alone, and all alone, all alone?" So like, what if she's been with Daniel all this whole time, and she's been deceiving me and all this other stuff, because now he's feeling like, oh, maybe it was way more than just cheating. She really doesn't want me back, because it seems like he does want her back, but he just don't know how to go about getting her back, and he doesn't know if she's really ready for him back, to be back with him, or if it's actually really over between each other. But it's not over, because she's on a collision course because she doesn't have him, and he's on a lonely course because he doesn't have her. So this happens in real life, and sometimes people end up connecting back together, or sometimes they never connect back together, and it leaves it as what if. So it could be a lot of what ifs going on between them. So, oh, I can't believe Issa got into a car accident. Oh, after hitting. Oh my God, Issa's too much. So we see Molly. She likes marriage.